Hello everyone, Catweasel here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our play-by video of Arkham Horror, the doom that came to Arkham. Yes, and here we are at turn 5. So, yes, play-by video. There's me, I'm playing Vincent Lee, and we've also got some friends in from Tube Tables, and they are controlling some of the other investigators. We've got Doug Herring, who is looking after Michael McGlenn. A bit more about Doug in a moment. We have Lawrence. Lawrence is looking after Daryl Simmons. We also have Mark. Mark is looking after Finn Edwards. And we've got Stosha. Stosha's looking after Agnes Baker. And we have Dave. Dave is looking after Patrice. So there we are. Those are all the people who are helping me out in this endeavour. And thanks very much to them. They're doing a sterling job. So let's get to our usual chat, which is about errors. Yes, indeed. So, what errors have I made? Well, there's one error that went on from turn 1, and it's Sebastian who pointed it out, so thank you to Sebastian. I was actually making it a lot more difficult for us, as if it needed to be more difficult. When there's a monster surge, you do not put a token on the Deep Ones Rising track. That is only for sealed gates and for monsters that go into a vortex. So I was actually putting Deep One Rising tokens on the track when I shouldn't have done. I've took them off. We've only had one gate that tried to open on a seal, so we've only got one token onto the Deep Ones Rising track. We've had none of our monsters try and get into a vortex yet, so we're only on one on that particular track. Something else that was pointed out, when the stars are right, this was Mark, and he's perfectly correct. When the Stars Are Right card comes out, you should really take all the discards and put them in as well and shuffle it. I generally don't do that. The reason I don't is because I like to see all the cards. So I'd probably do it if we'd got rid of some horrible rumour. Say we'd had a rumour and we'd got rid of it, and then we got the Stars Are Right card, I would have felt beholden to put that in, because that's the whole point of the Stars Are Right. There's a chance of some really horrible card coming back. But as it was, we'd had 3 pretty much nothing Mythos cards. You know, they weren't great, but what Mythos cards are. And I thought, we'll just get to see some new cards. So I didn't bother. So that was the reason why I didn't do that. And finally, several viewers have also pointed out about Vincent. Now, if Vincent had actually passed that encounter card and got 3 monster trophies off Dr. Herbert West, well, he would have failed his personal story. But I did want to do that. He'd have lost his sanity permanently, but we do need monster trophies. Monster trophies and gate trophies will help us get rid of the beings of Ib that are just down there, and they really are a pain. These extra horror checks, you know, the penalty on horror checks that we're getting, the penalty on luck checks, I just want to get rid of them. So that is why I would have took those 3 monster trophies and taken a hit on Vincent's sanity. But as it was, he failed anyway, so it's a moot point. Now, back to Doug. Now, Doug, as you know, runs his own video playthrough channel called Doug Herring, funnily enough. And he does a fantastic job. There are loads and loads of playthroughs on there. When I first got into board gaming, his was one of the first channels that I looked at for advice and help. Loads of advice and loads of help I got from it. People like him and Tragic, they were just amazing. Ricky Royal, all these sort of people really helped me out. And Doug has just reached 4,000 subscribers. So congratulations, Doug. You deserve every single one, mate. The other reason I'm mentioning it is he's doing a massive giveaway, including Arkham Horror, funnily enough. He's got one in Shrink. He's got that many games, he probably didn't even realise he'd bought it again. But he's giving away some cool games. Arkham Horror still in Shrink is one of them. I think there's several other games that he's giving away. Just to reiterate to you, Doug, don't put me in the draw, mate. if any more games turn up at our house, the wife will be kicking me out. So if my name comes up, send them somewhere else. Pick again. But yes, he's doing a great giveaway for reaching 4,000 subs. So pop along to Doug's site. It'll be around here somewhere. I don't know where they put it around the actual streaming video, but it'll be around here somewhere. Just go to his site and you'll see his channel update. All you've got to do is subscribe, put a comment in there, tell him how brilliant he is, because he is, and you will get into that draw. So he does a real lot, does Doug. He works very hard at his channel and he does deserve your support. So get over there. In fact, anybody, you know, on Tube Tables or that I've subscribed to, by all means go along, have a look at their stuff. There is some great people out there. There's Vitruvian Gamer, there's Board Games with Niramas, there's Rolling Solo, there's One Stop Co-op Shop. I'm mentioning some of the smaller ones. The bigger ones you all know, like Ricky and Tragic and Antlab. All those guys, Solo McLaughlin and Rob Oren, they're a given. But all these guys, go and give them your support. They're a great bunch. And what else was mentioned? Oh yes, Doug also does some RPGing. He's published some RPG actual systems based on D20, I believe. And that's part of his giveaway as well. So you will be getting some of Doug's personal work. I believe some of it's being reissued. So if you go along and have a look at his channel update, he will key you up on that. He's a great guy, as I say. Do all your best to support him if you can. Right, that's brilliant. Now, that brings me on to another thing, which is every so often I do like to go through what this channel is about. And we've reached that time again. I've had some comments, in the loosest sense of the term, having a real go about my presentational skills, about the amount of mistakes that I make, etc., so on and so forth. I just wanted to reiterate again for the umpteenth time that I do not do rules videos. Forget about the ones I did for... I have done 4. I hold my hands up, I've done 4. I did 4 for Perdition's Mouth. Timo asked me to do them. I was happy to help him out. Didn't take any money or anything from him. I didn't get any freebies, didn't get a free game. Nothing like that at all. I was happy to do them. I found them extremely difficult because it's not my style. But if you want to see a video with no mistakes that I've made, go and see them. With all this that I do here, although I try to keep mistakes to a minimum, it's not at the top of my mind. You know, it's just to have a laugh. Although I do try to do it right, I don't beat myself up over it, so I will make mistakes. It's just the way it happens. Sometimes I'm playing a game virtually brand new, and yeah, I haven't spent 3 weeks like going through the rules or doing about 60 run-throughs. This is not what I do on this channel. I just put the thing on the table and I play it, man. And I hope it comes across that I'm not in any way trying to teach anybody any rules. Yeah? If you like the game because you like the way that I present it at the table and the laughs that we have while we're playing it, then that's great. Fantastic. I do get quite a lot of the rules right. I will point that out. But yes, I will occasionally make some errors. And especially on new games, I might make quite a few. But as I point out, I'm not Watch It Played. I'm not Rodney Smith by any stretch of the imagination. I'm not Rado. I'm not anybody else like that. All I do is play this game like I've been playing with these guys off Tube Tables. We have a bit of a laugh. I don't take it too seriously. If you don't like people making mistakes, this isn't the channel to be on. I don't make any pretense about being some sort of rules guru or board game like, you know, Major Domo. I'm not. I just play games for fun. And if you want like in-depth rules and no mistakes, you're on the wrong channel. please, don't feel bad about unsubscribing if it annoys you. You're not keeping like food out of my family's mouth or anything. I don't even have adverts on the channel. I don't bother. It's not what my channel's about. There are lots of people out there, that do use Patreon, that do have the adverts switched on and stuff, and it's nothing against them. That is absolutely fine. There are people out there that fully deserve that, and in order to keep themselves going and to devote the time that they need for equipment and all the rest of it, that little bit of money really helps them out. And that's not to denigrate anybody that does that whatsoever. It's just that I don't do it. And one of the reasons that I don't do it is, one, I don't really need the money. And two is because of the way that my channel is. For all the things I've just mentioned, it's just a laugh. It's just me clowning around. So if you don't like people clowning around, if you don't like the odd rules mistake, then it's fine if you want to unsubscribe. I'm mentioning this to a particular subscriber who hasn't unsubscribed for some bizarre reason, considering the way that he's banging on about what a mess I'm making of everything. So I think he's on some sort of personal crusade, but nothing is going to change. It's going to stay exactly the same as it is. And I'm afraid, yes, I will still make errors occasionally. So having gone through all that, I'll edit a load of that out. I'll just whittering on as I normally do. But to say that though, we've done pretty well in this particular series, haven't we? I don't think I've gone over an hour yet, which is very, very, very unusual for me. So we'll probably go over an hour in this episode. So let's get back to where we're at. Yes, we're back. Arkham Horror, The Doom That Came to Arkham, and it's turn 5. And our first player will be Agnes Baker, so let's get to the upkeep phase. Inside the science building at Miskatonic University, Agnes and Thomas were confronted by a man who looked more like he belonged on a sports field than he did in an academic building. He offhandedly challenged Agnes to an arm wrestling match, ignoring Thomas completely, and introduced himself as Sir William Brinton, as if Agnes cared. The cheek of the man! She had better things to do than deal with his machismo. The fate of her beloved Arkham hangs in the balance, and he wants to arm wrestle? Really? Unfortunately, that encounter was the only thing of interest that had happened at the science building, as she and Thomas could not find anyone who knew anything, or would tell them if they did. Agnes decided to head back to her side of town. She wanted to find Finn and find out if he knew anything. So here we are with Agnes. In her upkeep, all she's going to do is she's going to move her speed down. She only needs 3 speed to get to where she's going to go. Where is she going to go? Well, she's going to go to the downtown streets. And she's going there because she's going to try and help Finn out. So we're going to try and kill a couple of these monsters. We've got a vampire there and we've got a maniac there. So we're going to try and deal with those. And that will mean that Finn can actually come out of Independence Square without having to fight them himself. And let's be honest, Agnes is a bit of a tough nut. So she's going up there to sort those out. That's pretty much it. That's going to keep her in the streets, unfortunately. We've got the curfew enforced Mythos card in operation. So what we're going to have to do, we'll have to do a will check at the end of all the combat. We'll do a will check and find out if the Flatfoots end up taking her to the police station. But hopefully we'll be fine and she won't end up in the cop shop. Right, that is it for Agnes. Next up is Patrice Hathaway. It felt like Patrice had been walking for days, well, at least hours. She was not used to all this walking about. But at last she chanced upon another portal. Stepping through, she found herself back at that horrid little house on that unnamed street. Standing nearby with a worried look on his face was Michael. He'd said that he'd actually just stepped through himself only a moment ago. But Michael also said that he'd seen something strange on a nearby deserted island and he was going to investigate. Patrice wished him luck and said that she was off back to the shop as she had originally planned to find something that they could use. They said their goodbyes
Then Patrice turned back to the open portal. She pulled out her violin and played the aria that had been echoing in her head all throughout that strange land, and just as she expected, it had the desired effect. The portal slowly closed, and then with a snap, it was gone. Patrice put her violin away and then started off for the curiosity shop. So there we are, Patrice playing the fiddle. Right, what's she going to do? Well, first of all, she's going to update her lore and luck. She's going to use both of her focus points, and she's going to go to 3 lore and 2 luck. What's she going to do? She's going to move 2 spaces to downtown. She's going to give $2 to Agnes. She is also then going to move 2 more spaces to the curiosity shop. Now, you'll note that she's only got 3 movement, but she does have fellow travellers, so she's going to exhaust that as well to get another movement point, and that will get her into the curiosity shop. Then, instead of having a curiosity shop encounter, she'll do the text encounter. So she's going shopping. She's got $9 now, so hopefully we'll get an elder sign or something really good. So that's what she's going to do. Probably won't have another world encounter, and in the Mythos phase, well, it's just laughs and chuckles all the way. So that's it for Patrice. Next up will be Vincent Lee. Vincent Lee talked for an hour or so with Walt Bennett. The death of the woman drowned in cephalopod ink was certainly odd, never mind suspicious. Walt told Vincent to go down to the morgue and talk to the medical examiner, a Dr. West. Dr. Call Me Herb West seemed extremely helpful, almost overly so. He had been keeping several strange organic specimens, or so he said, that he had collected recently. Unfortunately, it appeared that they had gone missing from the morgue the previous night. Herb mentioned that one such specimen had arrived yesterday from 607 Water Street. As Vincent set off, it suddenly struck him that he'd given a lot of information to Herb without actually getting anything tangible in return. So here we are with Vincent. He's not going to update any of his sliders. He's going to move 3 to 607 Water Street. We're going to try and get rid of that rift by having an encounter there. And we will basically take what comes. He shouldn't be having another world adventure phase unless something goes really wrong. And the Mythos phase, well, you've just got to take what it gives you. So there we are. That's Vincent. Let's move on to our next investigator, who is Michael McGlenn. Michael was happy to see Patrice come through the glowing portal, though he did not want her to see his profound relief at her safety. "Glad you made it," he said gruffly. "Knew you would." He moved to give her a quick pat or hug, which got awkward. He backed away and smiled, trying to beam confidence. "Well, the hunt continues. As soon as I got out of there, I heard screams up the way. On that," he waved a large glimmering sword in a general direction. "No name, don't go there, island or whatever it's called." Patrice wished him luck and told him she was heading to the store. He thought that was good, as it would keep her out of trouble and he would not have to worry. They bid each other farewell. As he arrived at the unvisited isle, another gate hovered over the landscape, bleak and full of shadows. A couple of strange otherworldly beings hovered around it, and with the sword and Tommy gun in hand, he dispatched them with ease. "Here we go again," he said, as he collected mementos off the creatures and stepped into the portal. So Mike, yes, Mike's been hoovering up the monsters in Arkham, and now he's headed to the Abyss. So he's going to update his fight and will. He's going to put that to 4 and 3. So let's just do that now. So he's gone to 4 fight and 3 will. That should help him a little bit with his sanity should he bump into any monsters and have to do horror checks. His movement is just going to go to the second part of the Abyss. He'll be having another world encounter. Hopefully it'll go fine and he will not lose a sanity because he's only got 1 left. So we will try and save that sanity. We need to get him out of that Abyss gate and back into Arkham. He'll probably have to go up to the Arkham Asylum and get that sanity back. He's in a pretty bad way, but there's not much we can do about it while he's in the Abyss. Okay, that is it for Mike. Next up is Daryl Simmons. Daryl made his way around the back of the building, looking for a way in, and to his surprise he found an unlocked door. He pushed it open and went in. Steps went down, leading to a gloomy room that contained some sort of altar. Daryl was drawn to it, and noticed strange markings that were familiar to him, but he didn't know why. Subconsciously, and without really knowing what he was doing, he pulled a package that he had collected from the curiosity shop out of his coat pocket and pulled the paper off. He looked down and saw the markings of the altar match those on the stone tablet. They began to glow and the tablet started to shake in his hands. He tried to let it go, but couldn't. The altar cracked apart and a blinding light erupted from it. He tried to resist, but it was no good. A magical force was pulling him into the light. So here we are with Daryl. First things first, he gets his retainer. So that's $2, so we'll give him a 5 and take 3. Let's clean it up a bit. So he's got $7 now. And, of course, he's got to roll for his retainer. So let's do that. He will lose it on a 1. He gets a 4 again, so that's brilliant. He will get another $2 next turn. That is great. So we've rolled for his retainer. What are we going to do? We're going to update his speed and sneak. So his speed and sneak is now going to go down a little to 3 and 2. You don't need much speed in Another World because he's currently in Unknown Kadath. He's also going to change his fight and will, and his fight and will is going to go to 3 and 3. So there we are, if we can get it into the slot. Right, those are his sliders. For his movement, well, he's in Unknown Kadath. He's just going to go to the second part of it. So that's cool. He'll have another world encounter, which will hopefully be okay. And then the Sunny Mythos phase. So he's done pretty well there. He'll be able to get out pretty soon as well. Not only to seal the gate, but he's another good monster fighter. And we've got a lot of monsters on the board. So that's it for Daryl. Next up is Finn Edwards. Aiming his Derringer at the flying monstrosity, Finn pulled the trigger. Thinking he'd missed at first, he made ready to aim again when the creature let out a loud screech and crashed into the ground. "Must have winged it," Finn whispered under his breath. Then he started for the entrance of the square. He had started feeling a little loopy and thought a quick trip to the local asylum could be beneficial. So that is Finn. Upkeep, what's he going to do? Well, first things first, he's going to move his fight and will, and he's just going to give himself a point of will there and put his fight down a little bit. Then, of course, we've got to do his bank loan. So we need 4, 5 or 6. Another 5, brilliant. So he hasn't paid his bank loan yet, not that he has to, but yes, good old Finn. He's doing brilliant. He doesn't need this, like, hold-out ability. So, yes, I think he's saved on every single bank loan roll that he's done. So, well done. Well done to Finn. Right, what's he going to do? Well, hopefully Agnes will have done the business with the vampire and the maniac. Downtown will be clear, so he will be able to spend 2 movement points to get into Arkham Asylum. Then, during the encounter phase, he will pay his $2, get all his sanity back, then he'll be ready to come out of the asylum and start killing stuff. I think he may be heading up to Innsmouth eventually. There's a few monsters there need taking care of, and that way he will be able to complete his personal story. But as far as the upkeep phase goes, and as far as Finn's upkeep phase goes, it's all over. It's time for the movement phase. And here we are with Agnes in the movement phase. So she's going to go 1, 2, and then she's going to use this little used path here for 3, and she's going to end up in Downtown. So let's zoom in, because she's going to have to fight the maniac and the vampire. And here we are with Agnes in the Downtown streets for a showdown. First thing she's going to take on is the maniac. We're not going to sneak past it. So fortunately we don't have a horror check, which is great, and we actually get +1 on the combat check. So combat check, she's actually going to attack with the shotgun, which gives her +4. So with the maniac's +1, that's 5 dice. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Brilliant. She also gets +1 from... What, she get +1 from somewhere else? She gets it from Thomas F. Malone, so that's 6. And she's got 1 fight anyway, so that is 7 dice. We need a single success. We got 2 successes, that's great. Goodbye. We only need 1 more now. 1 more monster trophy for her personal story. And look, we've got a monster. This one is a different kettle of fish though. First of all, it's physically resistant, so we're going to have to use another... We're going to use a spell rather than the shotgun. But let's get on with the horror check. +0, except it's not +0, it's actually -1 because of the being of Ib. So we'll take these 2 5s and get rid of all these losers. She has got a will of 3, so let's roll 2 dice. And we succeed again. That's brilliant. So she doesn't lose any sanity at all. That's really good. Next up is the toughie. We're on a toughie now because we've actually got to fight it. But first of all, we're going to cast Wither. So it doesn't cost us any sanity, fortunately. And the casting modifier is +0. She has got 4 law, but she also gets +1 from Tommy. And again, she gets a couple of successes, so that's cool. So she's casted Wither. But the bad thing is, we only get +3 to our checks from Wither. And we get -3 off this guy. So essentially, all we've got is our fight, which is 1. We also get an extra 1 because of Thomas. And she has ability called Memories of Conquest, which will give her yet another dice. So she'll roll 3 dice. We need 2 successes. Come on. She's got 1 success. So what we're going to do is we're going to roll another dice. We're going to have to use one of her clues. Come on. Come on. We need another success. Yes! So that just costed us a clue. Brilliant stuff. Get rid of that. She's still got 5 clues to seal the gate. And she has killed this guy. So that is 2 of the 2 monsters she needs. So she now has 3 monster trophies. Let's read her personal story. So it's the Destroyer. Pass. If Agnes has 3 or more monster trophies, she does place Not This Time in play. And Not This Time is here. Not this time. Casting one final spell, Agnes watched with satisfaction as the creature was utterly consumed. Not this time, she said. Agnes may exhaust this card to re-roll a failed spell check. So, really good card. So, that is brilliant. Woo! Well done, Agnes. But we're not finished, because she's stopped in a street location. So, let's have a look at Curfew Enforced. So we've got a will +0 check, or we get hauled off to the cop shop. Her will is 3, so 1, 2, 3. We could do with passing this as well. Come on. Yes, a 5. So she's managed to avoid the cops, even though she's been involved in a shotgun and spell fight in downtown. Well done, Agnes. Finn will thank you when he comes past. So, excellent stuff. Well done, Agnes. Next up is Patrice Hathaway. And here we are with Patrice. She's going for a quick trot around Arkham. Just before I do that, just to show you, one of the viewers had an idea about like standing these up, because if you actually have them flat, they're pretty difficult to see. Well, I did have some Litco monster stands. I don't use them because of the like covers I've got on my monster tokens, you know, the coin token covers, and it makes them too big to fit inside, but they do quite nicely hold the Litco gate seals, so I've just popped them up, so hopefully we'll be able to see them a bit easier. But back to Patrice. So she's going to move 1 to the Merchant District, 2 to downtown, where she's actually going to give Agnes a couple of dollars, which is very nice of her. So here we go. $2 to Agnes, who will hopefully be able to pop into Arkham Asylum. So that's great stuff. Right. Patrice. She has another movement point, and then she will exhaust fellow travellers and go into the Curiosity Shop. So she's in the Curiosity Shop here. That is it for Patrice. Next up is Vincent Lee. And here we are with Vincent. He's just going to go 1, 2, 3 to 607 Water Street. Well done, Vincent. Great stuff. After him, it is going to be Michael McGlenn. So let's bob across to the Abyss. And here's Michael in the Abyss. He just goes to the second part of it. That is it for him. Then let's get on to Daryl Simmons, who's in Unknown Kadath. And here's Daryl. He goes to the second part of Unknown Kadath. Brilliant. Finally, let's get up to see Finn Edwards, who is in Independence Square. And here's Finn at Independence Square. He says hello to his friend Agnes and goes to Arkham Asylum. I think they've got a best friends card. Hang on. The best of friends relationship card. If you and your partner are in the same neighbourhood, either of you may exhaust this card before making a check to gain +1 on that check. Damn! It's a good job that we passed with Agnes. We could have actually used that card to get a +1, you know, when we were rolling for the vampire. But yeah, it just struck me then when they were actually in exactly the same location. But never mind, we did manage to kill the vampire, no problems. Okay, Finn is in Arkham Asylum. That is it for the movement phase. Next up is the Arkham Encounter phase. And here we are at the Arkham Encounter phase with Agnes, who's not going to have one because she's in a street location. So that's very quick for her. Let's bob across to Patrice, who is at the Curiosity Shop. And here's Patrice at the Curiosity Shop. She's, instead of having an encounter, obviously she's going to draw some unique items. And hopefully we'll get a good one. So here's the deck. The usual rubbish shuffle, and we'll do a cut. And our first item, do we need to pick any more? So we've got an Elder Sign, brilliant. Next up, the Enchanted Blade would have been good as well. And finally, Nameless Cult, which isn't so good. So let's just forget about the Tome and the Enchanted Blade, we're not using them. Yes, it's all about the Elder Sign. We are having it. So that is $5 for the Elder Sign. What a brilliant piece of shopping. That is what we like. Well done, Patrice. So we'll put the Elder Sign on her player tray. That's it for Patrice. Next up is Vincent Lee, and he's down in Kingsport. And here's Vincent. So we need the green deck for Harbourside. There we go. Crap shuffle time. And a cut. Was it over? Oh, 607 Water Street's got a bit of text. We don't really like that. An older man with piercing eyes opens the door before you can knock. Meeting your gaze calmly, he says, "It's clear you need my help. But do you deserve it? If you spend 1 stamina and 1 sanity, the terrible old man joins you. Take his ally card or gain 2 spells if it's not available." Well, we know his ally card is available. And you know what? Let's go for it. We've still got 5 and 5, so that goes down to 4 and 4. And let's see what the terrible old man can do for us. We'll dig him out. Granny Orr, Anna Caslow, Duke. Where is he? The terrible old man. So we've got another ally. So let's have a look at the terrible old man. It looks like Count Orloff out of Lemony Snicket, doesn't he? Right, anyway. Terrible old man. Oh, +1 fight and +1 luck. That's great. Upkeep. Pay 1 focus and exhaust to gain 1 sanity. Alright, so we can get a sanity back. This is brilliant. What a card. Discard Terrible Old Man if the Ancient One awakens. But that's a good card. Vincent Lee is going to be knocking around with Count Orloff. Brilliant. So, is it Count Orloff? I think it is. I don't know. But you know what I mean. So, well done, Vincent. Who is next? It would normally be Michael McGlenn, but he's in another world. Similarly, then it would be Daryl, but he's in another world. So, let's get up to Arkham Asylum. And here we are with Finn. He is going to be using the text. So, he's going to spend $2, and that will get him 2 sanity back. So, let's dig that out. There we go. He's back up to full sanity of 4. Great stuff. He is the last investigator this turn. That is the end of the Arkham encounter phase. Next up is the Otherworld encounter phase. And welcome to the Otherworld encounter phase. And Mike, what's this? This is the Rift token I forgot to take off for 607 Water Street. So we'll just pop that back in the Rift token bag. I was so excited at finding Count Olaf that I forgot all about it. Right, anyway, we've got it now. So we're at the Abyss with Mike. It's a red or a blue card. So let's see what we get. That is green. Red. Unknown Kadath, no. Dreamlands, no. Other. A distant drumming can be heard. Strangely, it gives you a sense of security and protection, as if you were warding away some evil. Gain 1 sanity. We get our sanity back. Woo! So the one we lost last turn, we get back because there is some drumming in the distance. So that's reassuring. He's back up to 2 sanity, so that's cool. Next up is Daryl, who is in Unknown Kadath. And here we are with Daryl. I've just moved the, what is it, white ship cards or whatever they are out of the way. So here's Daryl. It's Unknown Kadath. We need a red or a yellow. And we get a yellow. Oh, and it's got Unknown Kadath on it. It's a Miskatonic Kingsport card. Very good. Let's have a read. No path can be discerned, and the towering peaks make it difficult to keep your bearings. Make a luck -1 check. Our luck will be -2 because of that being of him. What's his luck? His luck's 3, so he's got at least 1 die. Does he get any help from anything else? Friendly rivals won't help him. Skullcrackers won't help him. So he's only got 1 die. Let's get 1. Come on. One of the 6s from before. Yes! Reroll your 6s, baby! Fabulous. So we have passed. If you fail, we didn't fail because we're amazing. Oh, we'd have gone to the Dreamlands and immediately have an encounter there. But we didn't. So we've got away with it. Nothing bad happened. That is fantastic. Get that out of the way. Rolling a 6. What a star. There we go. That's in there. Everything is as it was. Let's get rid of that. Put it back in the holder. Get in. So that is the end of the Otherworld encounter phase. And we all know what that means. Oh yes, it's the laugh and chuckle phase. And here we are at lovely Lovecraft country. And it's the Mythos phase. So we need a horrible Mythos card. So let's get it off the top of the pile. And let's have a read of what we've got as I dodge around the camera. Oh, an environment, thank God. Well, hopefully it'll be an okay one. We'll get rid of that horrible, one where it's trying to put us in the cop shop all the time. What is it? The curfew one. Let's have a quick look. We have a gate at the Unvisited Isle. You are joking me. You are joking me. We've already got a gate there. Oh, we've got another monster surge. Oh, this is appallingly bad. We do not want monster surges. Oh, this is really, really bad. Oh, this is appalling. Damn, it's bad enough we've got with the ones that we've got. Oh, well, we're going to end up, the Terror Track I think is going to go up. So we're going to get 6. We're going to get 6 more. Unvisited Isle. Oh, what's going on at all? So what have we got actually? We've got 4 spare stands is what we've got. So 4 will go into Arkham and 2 will go into the outskirts, so the terror level won't go up. Right, so our first one will be, and this is going to the Unvisited Isle because it's the first one, another Proto Shoggoth. Oh. In fact, they're not even going to go to the outskirts because I'm going to have to send some up to Innsmouth. That's one here. Next one. We've just got too many monsters. I think the monsters are going to do for us. A Formless Spawn. These are a pain. I'll just read this out. I'll have to hurry up as well. The camera's running out of juice. So, physically immune. Brilliant. It'll be -2 because of the Being of Ib. We've got 2 sanity loss, 2 toughness, -2 on the combat, and we'll lose 2 stamina with it. That'll have to go up to Innsmouth with all the other horrible monsters that are in the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So that's 2. Our third one is a Yithian. I hate these as well. They're just they're just like a sanity equivalent of Chthonians, if I remember. If you fail a horror check against a Yithian, you're lost in time and space. It's -1 on that check, -2, sorry, because of the Being of Ib. Look at that, 3 toughness, -2, and oh, yeah, it's not the sanity equivalent, is it, of a Chthonian? That's something else that I can't remember off the top of my head. But there we go. That's nasty. And that is going to the Unvisited. Look at this. This is just ridiculous, man. Oh, dearie me. And next one is a Leng Spider. We've seen them before. They're not very nice either. That's going up to the Esoteric Order of Dagon. So, 5th monster is a skeleton. We saw one of those earlier. So that's at the Unvisited Isle, which is getting unvisited. Look at it. So I'm going to have to sort all these out to fit them all around. And we've got a final one, which is going up to Innsmouth. So every single one of these has come on a board. None have gone to the outskirts, and it's a ghost. And ghosts are horrible as well. Well, as you might expect, -3 to get past, but doesn't move, so it's always going to stick at that gate. And look at that, -2, you lose 2 sanity. It's -3 because of the Being of Ib, but at least it is only 1 toughness, -3 on your attack. Physically immune, undead, a pain in the rear end is what it is. And we've got to even these out, haven't we? So that's 6. So we'll have to put it up here on a red stand. 12 monsters. 13 monsters, because we've got that guy in the sky. And because of the way that we've had to share them out, none of them have even gone in the outskirts. We are in huge trouble. I cannot believe that's the third monster surge we've got. In any other game, it's normally okay, you know, because you're not getting Doom tokens going on. But not in this game. We're in real big trouble now. Alien technology, environment, urban. Oh, no, we've got... Clue appears at the science building. Right. Let's dig one out. Yeah. Do it in the correct order, Paul. And then monster movement. Oh, this will be a laugh. Let me just do the rift thing before I go through every single monster on the board. Yes, we're here. This one. So, got a rift going on. And we have... What's this? Oh, it's 607 Water Street again. So, no sooner we put it back in the bag than it's come out again. So, we'll put that there. In fact, that may work pretty well, because what we'll do... Let's move North Point over here. What we'll do is that means we don't have to spend any movement points, so Vincent may be able to read one of his tomes. So, we'll do that. Right, oh, so that is that side monster movement. Oh, this is going to take a while. What's going to move? Squares. Do we have any squares? We do not there, not there. Oh, and a Hound of Tindalos. We might have guessed straight away it's going to move, and it comes through the train station to the person who is in a location. It can't go to Arkham Asylum. It's not allowed to go there, or St Mary's Hospital. But, yeah, you guessed it, it can go to the Curiosity Shop. So, poor old Patrice is in a spot of bother at the Curiosity Shop. We'll look into that a bit more in a minute. But, are there any more? No, no. No. That's a hexagon, and that's a circle. Oh, how unlucky has this been? And diamonds, we have got some diamonds. I've seen some, but not up here. There's one around here somewhere. I've seen it. Yeah, the Proto Shoggoth, that's going to move 2 because it's fast on white. So 1, 2, yes. Getting to north side, cause a problem for everybody. Anybody who wanted to help poor old Patrice out has now got to get through a Proto Shoggoth. Are there any more? Yep. The Elder thing goes into the Merchant District streets. And I think that's it. And we've got circles on black. We do have a circle. We have a buyer key. But there's nobody in the Merchant District streets, so it goes to the sky with the Fire Vampire. Whoop. Anything else? No, I think that's it for circles. Don't think there are any others. No, I'm really going to have to sort all these out. They're all over the shop. Yep, that's monster movement. Have to hurry up before I run out of juice. So we've done all the monster movement. Alien technology, environment, urban. MyGo have their toughness increased by 2. Well, thank God we haven't got any MyGo. If any investigator passes a combat check against a MyGo, he draws 1 extra unique item. Well, that'd be nice. But, no. We are in huge trouble. Let's swap out our previous card. So curfew enforced has gone, and alien technology is with us. So at least we can stand out in the streets again, which we might have to do, because that is the only way we're going to avoid this horrible Hound of Tindalos. Patrice is in a particular mess now. We are in big, deep, huge trouble. Oh my God. Look at all those monsters all over the place. We have got tons and tons of monsters. We've got people coming out of other worlds, so hopefully we'll be able to like close or seal at least one of these gates, please. If we seal them both, oh, if we seal them both, we win. I mean, if we close them both, we don't even have to seal them. There will be absolutely no gates open. We'll have 2 seals, no gates open, and that's a win. That is a win. We could win. So for all my moaning just a minute ago, what we've got to make sure that we do is seal these gates next turn. If we can seal both these gates, and both Daryl and Michael are coming out next turn, if they can close the gates, no gates are open in Arkham, game over, man. We've won. So it's given us an opportunity. This horrendous like run of monster surges has given us an opportunity. Both Michael and Daryl will not have to fight any of these monsters when they come out. They get 1 turn's grace. So hopefully they will be able to shut one of these gates. It's a real pity that Patrice, we might have to look at her sneak, you know. If she could get to, no, she'd be like evading it all the way because of this so many monsters. If she could get, you see, to the Unvisited Isle or the Esoteric Order of Dagon, she could actually hand over an Elder Sign and guarantee that we'd shut a gate. But, oh, yeah, we are in with an opportunity of winning the game. We are also in a deep pickle. So it could be a real risk and reward turn next turn. I suggest everybody tunes in next turn to see if we win or we just get buried in an avalanche of claws, teeth, and various horrible pieces of monster that are going to come and attack us. But yes, we have got a small chance of shutting both these gates, getting all the gates off the board and actually winning. So, ooh, that'll be exciting. Right, anyway, I've got to shut up because I am running out of actual juice on the camera, so I haven't been able to keep it plugged in due to the size of the board. Right, so thank you so much for watching. We are reaching a crux, a nexus. So thanks very much for all the views, thanks for all the subscriptions, and thanks for all the likes. It is much appreciated. Thank you very much. Again, thank you to everybody who's been across to Board Game Links. I don't know what I'm doing right. I must be doing something right, despite despite my rogue subscriber, as we're up to 500 likes, and that's just amazing. So thank you so much. Other than that, BGG, thank you to everybody who goes on to BGG and likes the videos and comments on the threads there. Thank you very much. And yes, that is it. I think, of course, any errors, yes, Mr. Mistake. I've probably made a mistake somewhere. Hopefully I've made a mistake with the monster surge or something and there's less monsters, but I doubt it. It's probably the other way around. I probably forgot to put one out. So any sort of errors, please let me know, and I do try and fix them and flag them up. But as I say, I'm not a machine. I just come on to witter on, like get really involved in the game, and sometimes things do escape me, and apologies for that. But we're having fun, aren't we? So let's just carry on. Next turn, which will be turn 6 of Arkham Horror, the doom that came to Arkham. And it could be a nail biter. Be sure to tune in. But until then, this is me, Cat Weasel, signing off. Toodaloo.